But yeah, I'm fishing, and I also, you know the bow that we fished earlier? I made an anvil, and then I made a new bow, and it kept all the enchantments, and I named it Glock. So now while it's raining, I'm just trying to fish, so we can get more stuff like that bow. A saddle! Oh. I thought I saw a saddle. Oh, and I also got Aya Ender. Oh, look, see, I was right. I did get a saddle. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I was actually just thinking about like wanting a saddle to tame a horse because I have golden horse armor. Pufferfish. Got like a bunch of fish. Oh, and I also made like a freaking sheep farm. Like I just started it up. Okay, well, I'm gonna go back. Yeah, nothing but like fish and crap. Salmon. You know the deal. So I have a fishing rod, but I need carrots. How do I get carrots? Look, Christina, you know that enchanted bow that I got?
Dude, what?
That enchanted bow that I got.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
That was your mom, so you know.
What?
That was your mom I was on the phone with. We just had a good conversation for however long that was.
That was like an hour.
Whatever.
Are you happy?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Give me a high five. You grew up.
About time.
We're waiting on you now, babe.
Well, don't hold your breath.
So, you know, I mean,
They're texting in the home group.
Nobody cares.
Where is everybody?
Put your phone down so I can feel like I'm important.
Hey, Chris.
Because he knows.
The thing is, you're not important.
I know, I get it. For you,
freaking
it's
dab on
simply back to
him.
black and white because it's you, but for me, it's not. There's a lot of ins and outs, and there's a lot of things that have happened.
Do I have carrots?
I know that you're on a different end of it, so obviously it seems to me it's very difficult for you to put yourself in my shoes when it comes to things like this. But I think that understanding is extremely important and communication is extremely important because I want you to understand
Stupid
that
potion of weakness.
this entire journey with us, regardless of the case, I always made sure that you knew that I was on your team. Okay? Whether I agreed with you or not. I would tell you I didn't agree with you, but I made sure that you knew I was still on your team. Because at the end of the day,
it bruised something.
If there's a problem, it's supposed to be me and you against the problem.
Ooh,
Right?
I wonder what this is gonna make.
Right? And I understand that you but I'm doing what's right, so just leave me be. But I don't know what's going on. So from going to the relationship that we had, right? That you would tell me every aspect of
I
your
made
life
a
all the
freaking
time.
splash
That was our
potion.
relationship for a very long time. So now that we're married and we're closer, when that starts to change, it doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean?
So I could take anything and just make it into a freaking splash potion.
It's like how the way that I
cool.
see it is like you just want to live your life and I just live my life, but that's never how we lived our life, ever. It's always been our life. Before we were together, it was our life. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you? So, you know, it's not the fact that I don't trust you because that's not the case. Because I've done extremely well in that area, and the bottom line is I had to get to a point where I had to make a choice, right? So the choice was, if I don't trust you, or if I think that you're capable of doing something like that behind my back, that means I think that there's a flaw in your character, and I shouldn't be with you to begin with. You understand?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you.
Okay. So, I've gotten to that point with you, but I want you to know that in situations like this, that's where the more communication comes in. Not just you need to trust me and leave me alone, because that makes me feel worse. That makes me feel more separated from you. That makes me feel more left out. That makes me feel way less that we're a team. It makes me feel like we're not. Because the way that I felt with this situation is I'm here, right? I got mornings, right? I do this. My life's changed. My life has changed completely. I can't go to the gym. I have no alone time. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's a negative thing. I'm just saying it's been a huge change for me. But I felt completely left out of the equation the entire time. The entire time. And that bothered me. You know what I mean? It did. It bothered me immensely. That's why I kept discussing it. You know what I mean? Because I felt like that. And that's how I feel is healthy in a relationship is if I feel a certain way, I don't just go deal with it on my own. I'm gonna discuss it with my partner. I'm gonna talk to you about it. Because I don't feel that way. If you have something that's going on, you don't have to, whether you think it's just yours or whatever, like I don't feel that way. Like you've always been able to come to me in the past when you've had shit going on. So now that we're married, why would you not? Do you understand what I'm saying? Why would that change? That's what I'm saying. It's not, I don't ever think it's a me or you thing or you got to deal with it or I got to deal with it. That's not how I consider us. I consider us to be dealing with it together.
It's just kind of rough because you made it apparent that you felt like I was communicating with Nicole too much, so I would not tell you every single text message that was sent, every single phone call that was made, because then it would just validate that you're right, that I'm talking to her too much. And the only reason that I'm speaking to her is because I feel like it's what's best for the situation, because the goal is she is the one who has the control over where this goes. And I want
Stop it with my books.
And I want the 50-50 custody, and right now she wants the 50-50 custody. If she called me and was like, hey Dean, and I was like, wait, you've already called me twice today, I can't keep communicating with you, and then she gets bitter and resentful, and I say, listen, hey, you're texting me too much, leave me alone, or whatever. I don't have to say leave me alone. Even if I was just like, hey, listen, like I know we need to communicate about Hayden, but maybe you could keep it to a minimum, she'd be like, I am keeping it to a minimum. And then now she's resentful, and I'm just telling you why I made the decisions I made, okay? Why I answer her phone calls, or why I call her, or why I text her in regards to Hayden, or whatever else that might have something to do with me and her being parents. Doesn't always have to be a phone call about Hayden. It could be, hey, just so you know, this is what's going on, I don't know if I'm going to be available, or whatever. Whatever, is any array of things. So if I say, because even if I don't say this is what it sounds like. Hey, my wife's really insecure, and we're having problems, and she doesn't think that it's okay that I speak to you at all. Even if I don't say that, that's what it sounds like. Because I can't say, hey, listen, like, I don't want to talk to you, I don't think we should talk. She's going to be like, why? And I'm going to be like, well, because it makes Christina uncomfortable.
Okay, not to interrupt you.
So, this is all things that go to the negative. Okay? Because, like you say, she's not one of us. She doesn't take a look at it. She doesn't work on this program. She doesn't practice morals or principles. So, whatever her mood is what she's going to act off of. And if she feels like I'm pushing her to the side, or I'm trying to take control, or I'm telling her what she should or shouldn't do, then she's going to get resentful. Which means that it gets harder for me to be able to interact with Hayden in the future. So, no, she doesn't have control, and I'm not coddling her. I don't feel like there's any need to set boundaries that haven't already been set. The boundaries have been set. If I need to speak to her on a daily basis about whatever it is that she has going on in her life, or I have going on in mine that is in regards to what the future may be, because yes, she talks to me about what she's got going on with her boyfriend and all that, because she might be moving to somewhere else or moving to a different phase, and she might be single and not have the support, and we need to figure all this stuff out so I can plan accordingly, and so she can plan accordingly. So yes, I need her to know that yes, we're not going to be living in efficiency, we're going to be living in an apartment. Yes, we're just waiting, hopefully the first, I don't know yet. Like, she needs to know. Okay, so what are we going to do about Hayden's school? Is it going to be my school district, your school district? What's his address going to be? Like, all these things that we've slowly had to figure out, because there's more and more and more and more that we realize. It's not as simple as you take Hayden, I'll take him on Wednesday. Like, there's a lot to figure out. So, come March, when we both say we want 50-50 custody, that's not the end of it. The magistrate isn't going to go slam his imaginary gavel, because he's not a judge, and say, yes, you can have 50-50 custody. It's going to take a lot of time, and we both need to be communicating effectively with each other until that court order is in place, and then we both have our rights. Because until then, she's getting custody back in March. Her, not me. Judge could say, okay, temporary custody order dissolved. Nicole Maera has custody. And she could say, hey, good luck seeing your fucking kid. Because you can't. Because I said so. And I don't want that to happen. So I'm being friendly, I'm being cordial, and I'm having normal conversations like a normal person with another person. Like, that's it. We're not shooting the shit, talking about old times, or making plans for coffee behind anybody's back, or any of that kind of fuck shit. It's just normal people talking about normal fucking stuff in regards to, you know, like you said, oh, you were disappeared for 6 months. Well, it wasn't just disappeared for 6 months. This is the first time that me and Nicole have actually been able to speak to each other without spitting venom at each other and arguing constantly. So we got a lot to figure out.
Okay, so
Alright, so just wait to talk instead of listening.
I was listening the entire time.
Okay.
Put your phone down.
I just picked it up. I didn't look at it.
So,
You're right, Dean. I understand, and I get it. Should be the answer.
Should be the answer. That's the answer that you want.
No, that's what it should be.
Okay, now I'm going to communicate, because this is a conversation.
You're going to tell me how what I said was wrong.
Stop doing that in the future.
Okay. Go ahead.
So, where my misgivings were, okay, and I want you to understand so that moving forward, you can get it.
I already knew what your misgivings were.
Oh, look.
No, clearly not. Can I please
Look, I have a baby wolf.
This is not communication. You assuming what I'm going to say is not communication.
Okay. Well, you already told me what your misgivings were. Now you're going to tell me something different.
Oh my God.
That's not
Can
communication.
I talk?
That's not
You
communication.
have no idea what I'm going to say. So now you're defensive and I'm defensive. Where the miscommunication. Okay, can I speak, or you just want to be done and then we're not going to communicate ever?
So this is a new set of misgivings that I could have never
Can
known
I
about.
talk?
Sure, go ahead.
We spoke the last time we talked about Nicole and had a conversation about it, okay?
It was inappropriate.
The last thing,
Too much.
the last thing that was said, the last thing that you said to me was, okay, I'm not going to be communicating with her on a daily basis. Now, that changed, okay? That changed, and you didn't communicate that with me. You didn't talk to me the way that you just did, okay? You didn't sit, you didn't...
I literally just repeated everything I've already said.
You, the first time...
This whole time. Nothing new came out of my mouth.
The first time you said any of this was today. This is what I'm trying to explain to you.
Maybe the first time you heard it was today.
Dean, bro, I literally just said to you a few days ago, I literally just said it. You expressed to me absolutely no change, no context of what you were speaking of. All I got from you is I need to trust you, and you're within boundaries, and you're talking as much as you need to, and I should just stop. And I needed that communication from you. I needed you to explain it to me. I needed to feel like you understood, and I needed to feel like I wasn't just being blown off, because this is how I felt about it. I have felt, just like you said, you don't want her to feel like you're blowing her off. That's how I have felt. I have felt that communication has came paramount to our relationship and what we had going on. And regardless of whether you disagree with it or don't understand, I'm expressing how I have felt.
If you felt like I was hiding something from you, which I wasn't.
Okay, that's not how I felt. I didn't feel like you were hiding something.
You just
I felt
told
like
me that
you
I wasn't telling.
communicate to me
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
Yeah, the reason.
And I felt like I got bits and pieces.
If you felt like I wasn't communicating with you, maybe it was because I felt like if I did, that it was going to be this every single time.
Okay, so there's
Blah,
going
blah,
to be
blah,
difficult
blah,
conversations.